everyone, I'm Nina with Sidewalker Daily, and in today's video we're going to talk about the steps that you should take before you quit your job. Now, I am a business coach and a marketing strategist, and I work with a lot of content creators, freelancers, Instagrammers, influencers, and a lot of them end up quitting their full-time job to take on their creative hustle as a full-time. You'll never hear me really recommend, quit your job, travel the world. That's not the school of mine that I'm going to be advising to my clients. But if they come to me and that's a decision they've already made, they're like, Nina, let's work on some strategy for next steps, I'm here to support them. So in this video, it actually stems from a call I had with a client on what steps he should take before he quit his job. So I'm going to actually share with you the exact framework of what he did before he gave his final notice. I think the first piece of advice that I'll start with is make sure you don't tell your work colleagues before you tell your manager, whoever, your boss is. Now, there's multiple reasons why. I get that a lot of times work family is like, your work colleagues are like family, right? They're people you spend so much time with, and they know you inside and out. And I know it's hard to not want to go to them first, but you don't want any sort of rumor circulating, A, in case you change your mind and want to stay. And B, you don't want your manager catching wind or hearing it through the run of the mill. You want it coming from you directly. It's just more professional that way, and it's going to leave a better taste, in your manager's, mouth, so to speak. If you're looking for a reference for the future, that's absolutely something that you don't want to jeopardize. Also, you don't know who you'll be working with again in the future. So while you may have a work friend in, one office, you guys may work together again in the future. And if you quit in a shady sort of way, that's information that person has on you, and you may not want that hovering, looming over you. So definitely go to your manager first before making, any formal sort of announcement. My second piece of advice is quit in person. I cannot stress this enough. Quitting, it's kind of like a breakup, right? You don't want to do it over text. You don't want to do it over email. You want to go to your manager directly, have that conversation face to face. I know it's difficult and I know it's a little uncomfortable, but it's probably, one of the last awkward conversations you'll have to have with them. So you may as well just kind of get that courage and do it face to face. The third tip I would say, everyone says give at least 2 weeks notice. And while that is the standard, etiquette, so to speak, I would vote the more you can give, the better. I gave a month when I left a consulting position that we were on long term. And the reason is I loved my team and I didn't really want to screw them over, so to speak. I wanted to find that right person. I wanted to have time to train them. I know what it's like putting a job posting up and finding the right candidate and having to train them. It is stressful. And honestly, I just think 2 weeks is not enough. It's, the minimum. It depends on your relationship, I guess, at your job and how you're feeling and how fast you need to get out of there. But if you guys have a good relationship with your, work employees and work network, I would say the more time you could give, the better. Now, speaking of the 2 weeks notice, once you do talk to your manager and you quit, then it's customary to have something in writing to send to HR, to the office manager, to your boss. So that's when you'll actually take the time to write a resignation letter, and you'll just so that they can have it in writing, dated, and nothing gets lost off track. I think it's also really important when you're quitting your job to express gratitude to your mentors, to, the people higher ups. Again, you never know who's going where and who's moving, how the industry unfolds. People move jobs, people move locations. You may be looking for some freelance work, somewhere down the road and bump into someone from your old company. That's like the warmest lead. People who've worked with you, they know your work product. So you never want to leave on a bad note. And taking some time to even write some just handwritten notes. I'm a big fan of anything handwritten. I feel like it feels personal. If you want to do an email, that's fine as well. You know, letting people know, thank you so much for taking the time to mentor me or through all the work that we've done. You know, again, it's leaving on a positive note. People remember that. People remember how you make them feel. And if you're just out of there like, see you never, that's also going to stay with them, versus if you kind of take this approach of letting the people know that you've appreciated working with them. I can promise you that that will take you a long way, especially if you're going in the freelance direction, which a lot of the people I work with end up doing. I think this can kind of lead into asking for a reference. There's probably someone on your team that you have a good relationship with. If you're gonna ask for a reference, I would ask for it while it's hot. Don't ask like a month or two after you've left. You know, you wanna ask right as you're about to leave, so people like remember what it's like working with you, the feeling that you gave them, that energy. They can use it while they are, you know, while you're top of mind, versus 3 or 4 months later. If you're asking for a reference, people may just kind of like take longer to get to or not feel as inclined to write something super positive. So the last point I'm going to end with is making sure you review your contract, of course, because, you know, maybe there's some emails that you want to forward to yourself or presentations that you've worked on. You know, this always will depend on your contract, whether you're an employee, an independent contractor. It's going to depend on like who owns the work product. Essentially, maybe if you have a good relationship with your team, you can ask if you can use some of that work product in your portfolio. This is a time to make those requests, and you know, you never want to do anything shady and like send yourself emails or anything without knowing if, hey, this is something that you actually can. So just take a look at your contract. All that good stuff should be in there before you send yourself any information that may not belong to you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on some steps to take, you know, to quit your job. I know it's a really big decision, and if you're watching this, you're probably like super excited as well as nervous for the next step. Always wishing you guys the best of luck. I will leave a link to our coaching one-on-one if you need some help ironing out that business strategy. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and I will see you in the next video.